Well, good evening, y'all. This is Yota Joe. I'm here out for the Rodeo X Rigs magazine. This is going to be our first official video for our digital magazine, you guys. If you guys haven't already, you guys can follow us on Instagram. We have a Rodeo X Rigs page, magazine on Instagram. Also, you can follow the actual main page for all the events, and you can also go ahead and follow the Trail Wolves page. We are joined today by Chris Marcos here, AKA Island Wolf. He drives that beautiful white Tundra sitting behind us. How are you doing this evening, Chris?
Good. A bit tired, but I'm great.
That's all right. Yeah, you've been hustling. I've been seeing you a lot on Instagram, trailing and wheeling a lot. And
trying.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, cool. Well, we're on here today because we want to get to know you a little bit more. And you know, I'm sure people see you at the events all the time and riding these beautiful bikes that you got going around. And I believe with the Rodeo X Rigs digital magazine, we want to start to get to know more of our team members. If you guys don't know Chris is part of the Trail Wolves teams, you guys. He's one of the key members that helps puts these shows on. Rodeo X Rigs 11 will be coming up here in San Diego, and he will definitely be there. So where'd you grow up? Where did it all start? Let's just start from the very beginning. Tell us where it all started.
So my parents are from the Philippines.
Okay.
They migrated to Guam in like 1974.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I was born 1979, originally born and raised on Guam. Moved out from Guam to California in 1999.
Okay.
First moved in San Jose, and then I was there for a year.
Okay.
Went to college out there. Fun fact is, when I was in college, everybody there, most of everybody didn't know where Guam was.
Oh.
So I would always mess with them and tell them, this is the first time I'm wearing clothes. I don't know what money was.
Yeah.
I've never wore shoes before.
They
believed me.
That's funny. I'm not gonna lie. When you first told me it was Guam, I was like, "Where's Guam at?" And then someone said it was the Philippines. I was like, "Oh, okay." So I believe
and
that.
it's a U.S. territory.
Yeah, so I believe it. Yeah.
And they're like, "How do you speak so good English?" I'm just like, "Oh, I had to learn before I came." So that's a fun fact about me.
Okay, awesome.
Coming out
And
here.
growing up in Guam, what was that like? Like, what was the culture like? I'm sure you moving from there out here to San Jose, or going to college out here and going to school out here, was it a culture shock coming out here?
Not really for me. Only because I grew up at a time when there's a lot of diversity.
Okay.
Granted, you know, I did move to the Bay, and I was just like, whoa, this is super diverse.
Mm-hmm.
The only diversity we got was like military children or military families that lived on Guam, because there's a U.S. territory again, and there's naval bases, army bases.
Okay.
And the only thing different, I would say, is everything's so close. Everybody knows each other.
Okay.
Yeah, it's such a small knit community.
Like very small enclosed environment for you guys to actually get to know each other. And
yes.
You guys. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you have any brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have two sisters. I'm the middle child. I have an older sister. She lives in Seattle, and then my younger sister lives in Riverside.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're all local.
But I moved out first, and then my sisters followed after.
Okay. And so during that transition, like I said, like it looks like you immersed into the culture really easily, because you said it was very diverse in where you were. What drew your attention to the specific college you went to when you came out here?
So I moved to San Jose, and it was my cousin that was living there. He left Guam ever since after he graduated high school, which was 97, and then he went straight there. So I moved in with him. He was going to the same college. He's the one. Basically, he's the reason why I moved out. You know, he told me, hey, try out the States. I've been here already 3 years. Just try it out. Yeah.
And so I'm sure that was exciting, because you were like, man, I get to move over here with my cousin. We're gonna have a good time.
Oh yeah.
And go to the same school. And
yes.
Was that experience exactly what you thought it was gonna be, or was it a little bit different when you actually moved over here with him?
It was a lot different, because I'll be very honest. Going to college, still partying. I was 20 at the time. Okay. You know, legal drinking age in California was 21. Okay. On Guam, it was 18.
Oh,
so,
okay.
You know,
a little bit of a difference
everybody's
there,
been drinking since 16, technically. So it was a bit different, only because of the partying again. And then I got introduced to raves. Nice. And we went to raves every weekend for like 1 year.
Yeah. Hey, no, that's awesome. You got to indulge in that. I've definitely been to a few raves myself, and I'm not gonna lie, I've had a good time. You know.
Oh yeah,
it's
definitely
different. You know, I usually am a country type of guy, but going to experiencing outside of that, it's definitely a good time. The music, the lights, it's all
they play
awesome.
Country rave.
Hey man, if you show me the direction to the country rave, I'm going. Like, and so going to college. What'd you go to college for, actually? Since we're on that.
So, make this long story short, I went to school for nursing.
Okay.
Tried it out for about a year.
Okay.
And then, I'll be very honest, I just didn't like it. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
College is not for everybody.
Yeah.
Very blunt.
Yeah.
You could find your other path everywhere.
I believe
There's entrepreneurs here that don't have a degree or anything. Yeah. So
and they become
went there
very
for nursing,
successful.
And then just it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you do now?
I run the wire desk at a mortgage company out here. Yeah, so I manage the team right here.
Whoa, complete 360, right?
Yeah.
From wanting to be a nurse to actually being like basically a businessman, actually in your own right. You're probably an entrepreneur for that side of the company, right? Because you have to go out and hustle kind of thing.
And I have to, delegate 5 people under my belt. So
okay.
I guess that's the hard part too. I hate telling people what to do. I'd rather do it myself and get it done than have to, keep.
What does a day-to-day look like when you're out in the job? Like what is a day-to-day?
So I'm remote.
Okay.
I go in the office maybe once or twice a week. It's just basically like simple. People buying a house, send out the wires to the escrow banks. Escrow banks disperse. Bars get their keys.
Okay.
Pretty simple, but very complex in the sense of documents review.
Of course.
That's all. Yeah.
Of course. Okay. And then heading back, kind of piggybacking back to, so when you were out in Guam, growing up, and obviously we have your beautiful truck back there. Were there these types of rigs out there, like overlanding, rock crawling? Like,
definitely.
What was the? I kind of want to get more of like, what was the lifestyle out there for you when you were out there before you moved back here? As far as like the off-roading went and the outdoorsy stuff, and maybe tell us about some of the activities you used to do out there. Like,
so the lifestyle out there is totally different. There's no BLM land.
Okay.
It's free for all.
Okay.
Like practically this beach. If we were in Guam, you could drive on the sand, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The off-road community does the same thing. A lot of red dirt. That's the only issue. So washing your truck would be really
ideal. Okay.
So. Daily was honestly hanging out with my friends, especially I've had my friends since high school, in the beginning of high school, freshman year, and we grew up on the import scene. Everybody did. Okay. And then it was one of my buddies owned the shop, so that's all we were doing. We're at the shop every day, just tinkering with our cars, going to the pool hole, shooting pool.
Nice.
Finding bars, hanging out.
Just hanging out. Yeah. Just kind of like what we do here, right?
Exactly.
It's just out there, it sounds like there's a little bit more freedom out there than there is
here,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's usually, it's kind of crazy how we look at other countries or even like other areas that we never get to experience, and the rules are a little bit less tight. You know
it's
what I mean?
basically a small Hawaii.
Okay.
That's how I tell everybody. You've been to Hawaii?
So are you guys considered like islanders kind of?
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys, and okay. And
so if you're born and raised on Guam, you're technically a Guamanian.
Guamanian, okay.
Just like if you're born and raised in Hawaii, you're a Hawaiian.
Okay, Guamanian, I like that. I'm gonna have to use that. And what was like growing up? So your parents at home, you guys have your 3 brothers and sisters, right?
Yeah,
and
2 sisters.
2 sisters, and you're the third one.
Yeah.
And what was your dad and your mom? What was your dad like?
So my dad was an insurance adjuster.
Okay.
There's a fun fact about my dad. His dad, which is my grandfather, is Ferdinand Marcos' cousin.
Okay.
So I always got teased of that in school, like in Guam, because they're like, oh, Marcos, the president, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
And okay, and actually going into deeper to that, what was one lesson your dad taught you when you were out, or actually just a life lesson that you probably hang on to like till now, to this day? Is there like any of those little life lessons that you could remember at the top of your head that you've stuck to your whole life that's helped you get through basically anything?
A life lesson that my dad taught me is don't take no for an answer.
I like
so
that.
It's always, just like perfect example being here, and then the lifeguards are giving us kind of a hard time in the beginning and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, if you don't ask, you'll never know. If you just assume they're going to say no, then it's a no for sure.
Well, that's actually a lesson you kind of taught me today too, because they're like, Joe, go ask. I was like, all right, I will. And I actually took no as an answer, you guys.
But and look what happened.
And look at us. We're sitting here in beautiful Long Beach, California, right here next to the ocean doing an interview. It's actually beautiful when you look back in the backdrop. But
and then back to my mom. Sorry.
No, you're good.
She worked at a bank.
Okay.
She's been at the bank for 20 years.
Okay.
She only came out here because, I'm not sure if you remember, there's a bank called Union Bank of California.
Yeah, I do actually.
There was one on Guam, but it shut down. She was 4 years from retiring, so her only option was move to California, finish your 4 years, or you're going to reset, and you're going to lose, 16 years of working.
Yeah.
So of course she's going to take the option.
So you're going to take the option so she could finish off.
Yeah.
And what would probably be like the most memorable experience you had back at home before moving back here with your family?
The beach life.
The beach life?
Granted, I did hide in the sun. I mean, I hid under the umbrella and stuff. Yeah. Because, it's hot and humid.
Of course. You can't be standing in the sun 24/7.
But literally, you could walk, or you could drive to a beach, walk right to the sand.
That's awesome.
No issues.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so coming over here and getting to experience life here and kind of building. Well, how about like meeting your wife and starting up a family? Like I'm genuinely crazy. I might be crazy.
No, you
but
are
I'm
crazy.
genuinely curious. Like how did you and your wife meet?
So I said I came to California in 1999, and then I went back home for a year. My mom asked me to come home, so I came back. In between that time I was there, I was working, doing my own thing. And then I met her at a club.
Oh, hey.
Ironically.
Hey, no, hey, that's awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And you guys just had similar interests and it kind of just clicked?
Yeah. And then we would talk and everything.
Yeah.
And then the fun fact that people might freak out, and this is kind of TMI, but
no,
I don't
it's
care.
okay. That's why we're here. We're here to get to know you, man.
So she had her own child at the time.
Yeah.
At the time, I was totally against it. I was just like, I don't know if this would work. I never thought myself to be into it.
Yeah.
I met the daughter one time.
Yeah.
I literally can remember this. I was sitting in her car, and the daughter was in the back, literally in the back seat. You know where the speakers are at? Like a 94 Honda Accord?
Yeah.
And just a little child just there. And I was looking back, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I almost like it, but it's kind of weird that I like it.
Yeah.
So we still did talk and everything, and then I left Guam. And then she said, "Oh, I'm not gonna follow you, but she's also moving."
She wanted to come out here.
Yeah, she wanted to come out here with her, with her daughter.
Yeah, of course.
So she came out here, and we basically rekindled everything, and we've been together since '99. No, 2001.
That's awesome. It's almost like you. Like you guys took that chance with each other because you were not sure, and then when she moved over here, it was kind of like a sign to you, like
exactly.
Maybe we should like keep trying, and then you sing the, you know what I mean? That's awesome. No,
and she's somebody that in Guam, I told you, everybody's small.
Yeah.
Or it's a small community. Everybody knows each other, but we didn't know each other. But we probably knew of each other.
Yeah.
Because we went to 2 different schools. We actually went to the rival schools.
Okay. Oh. Yeah. Nothing like a little friendly competition,
so,
right?
Yeah. So we hardly even knew each other.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Yeah. No, that's beautiful. I mean, like, it's almost like it's like a full circle moment, but like you're just putting it together and it was meant to be. And look at you guys now, happily married and
3 kids.
3 kids doing your thing. Like I saw her the other day. She was leaving to go to work, and you guys just have your own system going on, which is awesome. On your kiddos, so tell us about your kiddos. Like,
oh, my kiddos.
let's hear about these little rascals.
So my oldest, she's done with school.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you're excited about that.
Oh, hell yeah. The one thing that I could say I love about her is growing up, she did everything at a young age.
Good.
So right now, she's 27 and hates going out.
Yep.
Rather be at home.
Yep.
We could go to like a buffet, perfect example, and she'll literally fall asleep at the table after she's done eating. And she just wants to go home and sleep.
Yeah.
It's always just, I want to go home and sleep, or I don't want to do anything.
It's almost like she skipped that generation for a second, like instead of, because she did it young, right?
Yep.
And instead of like, for me, I just turned 30 and I'm like 29, 30, and I'm at that point where I just want to go home, relax.
Exactly.
Rest,
I'm the same way.
Get ready, because we're up like all hours of the day sometimes, right?
At 10 p.m. we're like, I'd rather be in bed.
Exactly. And she's 27 and that's awesome. She's already got over that stage and now she can focus, like, I need rest.
Exactly.
I need to work. I need to prepare stuff for a family. I don't know what her plan is, but if she eventually wants to have a family, she's already structuring herself that way. So that's awesome. Tell us about your other 2.
So my son, people call him as my twin because he's almost as tall as me.
I mean,
basically looks the same, just a lighter complexion.
Yeah.
He's into sports. He loves playing guitar.
Okay.
And he's in choir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is he an awesome singer? Is he gonna be like American Idol famous?
He's good. He did solo too, and I was just like, oh shit, I didn't expect it.
Honestly, we should have him at the next Rodeo X Rigs do the national anthem.
He probably would.
Just saying, it's an option, it'd be great to have.
Yeah, he did it in front of a whole concert.
Yeah,
so
there
why
you
not?
go. Yeah, we can have him do the national anthem one. I think that would be a great idea. Like that'd be freaking awesome. But okay.
And I'll put this out that he helped me wrench.
Oh, awesome.
If I'm working my truck, I'll be like, hey, help me.
And he put his hands in there. Good.
Make him get dirty.
What is it? Oh, so falling back on your other daughter, what is she? She's a nurse, or what does she do again for her job?
Right now she works at a school that teaches kids music.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like a music school.
Yeah, something like that.
And what does he want to do for his future?
He wants to be a firefighter or join the military.
Hey, firefighters.
And I'll take it. If he wants to join the military, I'll be honest, he'd probably retire before me. Because he'll go right after high school.
Yeah. He
20
can
years?
do a couple years in the military.
37.
He can actually double dip too. So he can do the military, be a reserve after he does his time.
Yeah.
And then he can be a firefighter. So he racks up 2 pensions.
Yeah. See.
So hey, get your paramedic license first, okay? I'm just kidding.
And then if you did 20 years, retirement.
Yep, pension and exactly. It's honestly it's a very rewarding career. Like it's kind of like college though. you either do it and it's for you or it isn't. Like me, I decided to go the more entrepreneur path because
Yeah.
I just wasn't in love with it like I am in love with this stuff
Yeah.
more, you know? So, but that's awesome. And your youngest. So what's
My youngest, oh gosh, makeup. She's a sophomore.
Okay.
Loves putting on makeup. Makeup at school. So annoying. But I'll be honest, she's my Gigi.
okay.
You get that term?
No, I don't.
So when
could
I
you
say
explain
she's
that
my
to me?
Gigi,
Yeah.
like for Kobe. Kobe
Oh,
Bryant
okay.
calls his
Yeah.
daughter Gigi because that's her girl boy.
Okay. Yeah.
So you know that because
Yeah.
she came with us to the.
She did. She came up to Big Bear with us, right?
Exactly, yeah. So she came with us there.
Yeah.
And she's always down. She's like,
Yeah,
let's go.
it didn't seem like she didn't want to be there. Like, she was totally excited to go.
She didn't
so that's
hide
awesome.
in the car or
yeah,
anything.
no, she was she was out there
Yeah.
and chilling with us, which was awesome. And she seemed, just talking, the little small interaction with her, she seems really sweet.
Yeah.
So.
And I treat her like a boy sometimes,
Yeah.
and I'd rather do that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's like I have 2 boys and 1 girl.
Tomboy. Okay, so kind of going back, so, you know, getting to know your family. And how about, do you have any grandparents or cousins that live out here?
I have cousins that live in
okay.
Vegas, Seattle, and then Guam, and then Philippines.
Do you guys ever do like a big family reunion?
We try, but more of on my mom's side,
Okay.
which sucks. You know, you want to stay close
Yeah.
to everybody.
Yeah.
But my mom's side is mainly all over the States or on Guam.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, it's kind of hard sometimes when you try to get both the families together.
Yeah, that's
and
hard.
It's like,
I don't
geez,
think
like,
that in my whole life, I'm 45.
Mhm.
I don't think we've ever got all together in
Oh.
one family, which
Well.
sucks, but you know,
Right, it is what it is though.
Exactly.
Sometimes, right? It's really difficult to do that.
Yeah.
And okay, so now you got the wheel spinning now, and I'm thinking like as a father now, okay, right? Because
Yeah.
you've done so much time being what are some awesome experiences you had with your kids as being a father? Like, what would be like the number, like when I talk about experience, what's the first thing that pops in your head as being a dad?
Riding a bike.
Learning how to ride a bike?
Yeah.
Teaching them how to ride a bike?
Yeah, I think that's a milestone for me.
Yeah.
If you think about it, some kids or some people can't even swim. Some grown adults can't
Yeah.
swim. My kids can swim.
Yeah.
Some people can't ride a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Some people can't roller skate.
That's true. I'm one of them.
Some people can't drive.
Yeah.
Literally can't drive.
We dealt that on the way all the way over here.
So I think my greatest experience with being a father is being able to teach them something and it sticks.
Yeah.
Knowing that you do have a voice and it worked. Of course, sometimes there's bumps and everything. I'll
Yeah.
be very honest. Nothing's perfect.
Yeah.
If it was, then
We all have to. Well, we all learn a specific way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like your kids are gonna learn by making their own mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like we had to learn by making our own
definitely,
mistakes.
yeah. So I try to always
Yeah.
instill that to myself, knowing like I fucked up as a kid. I know that.
Yeah.
But I guess the way you see it as a father or a parent, you don't want it to happen to them. At the same time, you do so they understand.
Yeah.
But you know, if it does happen to them, then it's going to be like tenfold sometimes. Because
Yeah.
it could happen later, and then they'll take it worse or anything. You know, like or boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Yeah.
It just takes work a lot. I like to say like it takes work because I'm not a father,
Yeah.
but I hope to be one day. And I know there's a lot of work that goes into it, a lot of communication and a lot of understanding because we're growing up. As you can see, the world's changing,
Yeah.
and we're growing up in different times. Like when I was growing up, it's not the same.
Oh, definitely.
Like
not.
I remember, I don't know. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember when I used to hang out in the neighborhood, ride bikes and
Yeah.
stuff. We had to be home before
Before
the light.
sun, yeah.
Yeah.
Or when you see the light turn on.
Yeah.
You better
be home or you're
yeah.
gonna get in trouble,
Yep.
right?
And your parents didn't look for you.
Yeah, now that I see kids out, it's like 11 o'clock at night and I'm driving home and
Yeah.
there's kids riding. What the heck is
Or
going on
just
here?
literally walking.
Yeah, and so we are growing up in different times and it's more impressionable thanks to the almighty phone and
Exactly.
social media, sadly. Because it is a tool. I do believe it's a good tool, but
Yeah.
it can also be used for bad influences. So I would say like, as a dad, for what you've done for your kids, it looks like you've done all the right things. And it's awesome to hear that. Those are some like great experiences you have with your kids.
Yeah.
So I know I'm kind of going on a tangent right now because
No.
it's like, well, no, because it surprises me like from when I grew up, and I'm sure you're a couple years older than me, right, generation wise. So you can tell me like you growing up, what was that like? Like what was like things that you see back then to now that's changed drastically, and you're just like, whoa, like why is that even a thing? Like,
Me growing up differently from now. You said it there.
Yeah, it's just like
the best point was the whole thing about being out
Yeah.
with your friends, doing whatever you wanted to do. You literally walking out the door and be
Right.
like, hey, I'm going to be at Charles's house or
Yeah.
I'm going to be Joe's house. And then it's like, okay. And
Yeah.
then you know once that light turns on,
You better be home,
you
right?
better be home.
Or you're gonna
There's
get
a
the
big
sandal,
problem. Yeah,
right?
exactly. Or you're going to get
yeah.
the belt.
Yeah, no, that's oh man, yeah, my mom used the belt a lot.
But that makes
yeah.
a lot of sense too, exactly how kids don't hang out outside as much now. Yeah.
The parent, and another thing I also noticed too, it's like parenting has changed a lot.
Yeah.
So like, and I see, you know, when I'm at the shows with you guys, yeah, I'm out there doing my thing, but I always pay attention to you and like Jason and all the others who have kids and stuff, and how you guys are raising your kids. And I'm like, man, this is awesome. Like, there's still amazing families or parentals, there's still amazing parentals out there who are raising their kids the right way. Because if you look at other spots, you're just like, dude, what is happening?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
This is
and
not good.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Really
So,
does.
okay, let's bring it back around. We'll bring it back to you. I know we got off on the tangent there, but this kind of stuff's always intriguing because honestly, you guys, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know I'm all about self-improvement. So when I'm talking to people who have more experience to me, it's always great to ask these questions because then I can learn, right?
Yeah.
And we all learn off each other. So, so tell us, okay, so you're moved out here, you're married, you got your kids. So when did the off-roading scene start for you? Like,
oh man,
like where did it all start? What kind of truck did you start with? And then how did you kind of like phase into like meeting Jason and, you know, the rest of the guys on Trail Wolves, Ian, all of them, you know what I mean? Obviously, we'll talk about how we met, but that's not important. Like we're trying to, right here, like Chris, this is where we want to learn all we can about you.
I bought a truck in 2016, Toyota Tacoma, 2-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Had it for about maybe 3 years. Never took it off-roading. It was just like, oh shit, it's fun to have a truck.
It was just like your street driver?
Yeah. And then we went to this beach area one time and we had to park semi in the sand where, you know, it was just like everybody's parking on the side and it was dirt. I mean, it was like sand, literally. And what happened was I couldn't get out. 2-wheel drive truck, here's the concrete, here's my truck.
He was like,
and I was like, what the fuck, I'm just getting stuck, this is so dumb. So of course, you know, you just got to, exactly what you said. Got to do that to get out. And then I literally, the week later, went to the dealer and traded in for a 4-wheel drive Tacoma. Because I was just like, fuck this.
You were just over it and you just wanted something where it was more capable,
exactly,
right?
I didn't know anything. I was just like, okay. I thought it would be able to get out of that little patch of dirt.
Well, everyone gets the stigma that just because you think you have a truck, you can handle a lot more than it's capable, which when you have experience it can, but
of course,
trucks still have a limit. Like, I don't think a lot of people understand
especially
that.
Especially 2-wheel drive.
Yeah, exactly. 2-wheel drive, you really can't go anywhere, you guys. I have one, I know.
So I got the Tacoma, started buying parts, self-install, you know, just messing around. One of my buddies always helps me out with installs and started going trailing with them for a little bit.
Nice.
And then this is an interesting fact is Bill Vick, which is also part of Trail Wolves, aka Hibachi, he and I used to work together in 2001. We kept in contact through IG. We found each other again, and then we, you know, start chatting randomly or laugh at videos or whatever. And then Bill was neighbors with Jason and Cecil.
Oh.
So Bill hit me up, and this is in 2021, and he was just like, hey, you want to come hang out? You know, my buddies, they go off-roading, blah, blah, blah. Basically just started hanging out. And I'll be very honest, I think the first Rodeo X that I went to, it was kind of awkward because everybody was there. Yeah. And honestly, to me, I was like, oh shoot, Trail Wolves is like all family. You're like everybody's cousins or everybody knows each other. Yeah. So I'll be very honest, I felt kind of left out because I was in the corner. I was helping out a little bit, but I was just like, it was kind of weird at
different,
first. I'm sure you felt that way.
Yeah, no, I actually, there were a few times. I think it was Rodeo X Rigs Volume 2 and 3. 2 is when I started, because that's when I first met you. I was the same way. Like, I was the mic guy, and I brought my truck and stuff, but I'm not going to lie, I did feel a little left out, because I was like, oh, damn, this is all family and friends. They all know each other.
Exactly.
What do I do? Like, but as I got to know you guys and got more time in with you guys, I got to go wheeling with you guys a few times, and, you know, as obviously we get bigger, we're going to be starting to camp together. I think I'm losing my train of thought here. San Francisco was the first trip I actually spent the whole weekend with you guys. Oh, that's true. Yeah, because I always had to work on the weekends, or I could only do a day and I had to be out. So because of scheduling, now I'll be able to spend more time. But yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. It's kind of, because it is. You guys are very family oriented, which is what I love about you guys.
Exactly.
And you guys are very blunt too, which is crazy, because usually with family orientation, everyone's always like tiptoeing around each other, but like you guys don't. It's like, nah, this is what it is. Yeah, you know where you you know where you stand here. So that's what I really appreciate about you guys. But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, so second, or you said your first Rodeo X Rigs.
It was kind of weird and everything, but I just came back. I was just like, no, you know, these guys are actually cool. I like hanging out with them. Granted, I didn't hang out that much, but just after that, I actually went trailing with them after that, and made a video. It's on my IG. I think you could see it. 2021.
We'll have to scroll back, you guys.
So that's when I first trailing with them, and Eric was up there too, and then he cooked us burritos, and I was like, oh, see, this is what I needed.
Exactly, yeah. So. And it's so funny because a lot of people, and I think you could agree with me, it's hard to find that tribe, that little group that you try to fit in with, especially when you get into stuff like this. Like, I think when ambition is high, and when ambition's really high in you and you find other people that match that ambition, it's awesome. But when you don't have that same flow, it's just like, what am I doing here? I feel left out, or you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Because it's like, perfect example is on Guam, I have my friends.
Yeah.
I could go home, hang out with them, and we pick up right where we left off.
Right where you left off, yeah.
My Cali friends, I have Cali friends out here, you know, but they all were also from Guam.
Yeah.
And honestly, I didn't know all of them there, or I didn't know who they were, and I met them out here.
Yeah.
And then I have Trailwolves.
Yeah.
Honestly, just like a second family to
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I always joke around with my girlfriend, tell her Trailwolves is like the family I've always wanted.
Exactly.
Like it's the family I've always wanted. And not to knock down my own family. My own family is my own family. But I've been in so many friend groups and in and out and feeling the outcast. This is the first time I don't feel like an outcast. I feel like I actually belong to a family, you know. So I think that's beautiful you guys have that.
Yeah.
And your the dynamics or the team dynamic, kind of like what I'm gonna just say, what was the best memory with Trailwolves and off-roading and kind of with your family and their family? What are like some of the best experiences you've had with them?
Honestly, when I just see, perfect example again, I say that a lot, I'm sorry, is Mare Island.
Mare Island,
the first Mare Island.
Yeah.
When after the event, and then we had tacos.
Yeah.
Just hanging out there.
The first one,
with, you know, everybody's family.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was normal. It's like going to a family barbecue.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing was weird or anything, and we were just all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Traveling with the team it's
always a good time.
Yeah. It's always a good time.
It's always a good time. This last traveling trip, you guys, we had a lot of fun. Chris can tell you guys what happened if he wants to.
Just check out his IG. Always put gas. Remember that, guys. Always put gas.
I'm the trouble child in the family, okay? I have blowouts, run out of gas now. And so tell us about your Tundra, man. Like everyone sees it. The thing is a beautiful truck. And why was it 2025, right? No, 2024 Tundra.
So I had the Tacoma. My kids are big. You see my son, he's practically my size. Kind of grew out of it, and then the Tundras came out. I never thought I would own a Tundra. I was just like, sure, let's go try it out.
Yeah.
Sold my Tacoma 2020 of June, prime COVID, whatever.
Yeah.
Got the most money out of it, and I put it back to stock.
I agree with you. I sold my Tacoma at the same time. I got so much money for that bad boy.
Yeah, so I didn't have a rig for like 6 months. And then Steelcraft also came up. I still went without a rig. I took my brother-in-law's truck, just to help out.
Yeah.
So got this in December. Just maybe 6 months, kept it stock, and then of course nothing stays stock in the crew.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Whenever you buy a truck, you have to modify it.
Yeah, and you talk to Jason, his hamster never stops.
Literally on the way back from Mare Island, you guys, he was thinking of conquering the world with business ideas. He's like, the hamster wheel's rolling, we're gonna have motocross. I was like, what? I was like, okay, like here we go. So yeah, it never ends, but it's beautiful. We love it. We're all on that same train though. It doesn't end with all of us.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. We just motivate each other.
What about, so you got the Tundra, did you name her?
No. Just Tundra, Island Wolf Tundra.
Island Wolf Tundra. If you guys haven't already, you guys can follow him on Instagram. It's gonna be Island Wolf Tundra. He's gonna have this beautiful 2024 Tundra right here with the Running for Tacos logo in the back. Why don't you tell us what kind of suspension setup you have on your truck?
So I have King's 2.5 to reservoirs.
Okay.
I have Toyo 37, 12.5, 17 MTs.
Okay.
With RRW R7s.
Okay.
Just recently, jumped on the carbon fiber hood train, and
it looks good.
It's still growing on me.
Yeah.
I told you that when
you
went to
did.
Big Bear. Yeah, it's still growing on me.
I think it looks good. It gives it a pop.
Yeah,
it gives it a little bit of uniqueness, and it keeps your, like you said, in Guam, you used to race tuner cars, like imports. There you go, baby. You got your import right there on the hood.
But it defeats the purpose of me saying no raise on rigs.
True.
Because I have a ricer hood.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I got what you're saying there.
So my roof.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
So my roof rack is a up-top overland called the Zulu. Also has a up-top overland bed rack.
Okay.
It has all diode lights. You know, from the fogs to the ditch to the pods on the top to the chase lights in the rear.
Nice. By the way, you guys, the Dio lights are also wireless connection through his phone, so he can actually control everything from his phone, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so Garmin Switch Pro, best one out there. You should try to get.
Any future plans for her? Like, are you going to keep her like that? Are you going to long travel, or are you just going to keep the mid-travel?
Definitely won't long travel. Okay. Yeah. Going with Cecil, of course you want to go fast, but I like to crawl.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
definitely.
Honestly, for what it has, you guys, it's a really smooth ride. I've been in it a handful of times. I enjoyed it. It's like it's like a Cadillac it's like an off-road Cadillac, you guys. It's beautiful. And what about this spunky thing right behind us? What we're looking at here?
So this is a custom-made P51 bike. It's pretty fast. I've ridden several e-bikes, and if you guys don't know, you guys gotta really try this out. It's pretty good. It'll be at our event, so just let me know.
Yeah. So Mr. Island Wolf here, or Chris, aka Chris. he actually, I think I've been on the other one, right? Not this one. Yeah. I was on the other bike. It's actually pretty quick. I was towing the King. It was like a King banner.
The arch.
The arch. And this thing pulled it like it was nothing. It was really nice. So I think these bikes are really unique and they're awesome. I'm more of a mountain bike type guy. I usually like those Surons, but riding these, it's a great cruiser bike. So I definitely commend you for being able to get on one and thank you for taking it to the events. You saved me a lot of walking, honestly. Well, wrapping it all up here, Mr. Chris, is there anything... You know what? It's just there's anything you want to say to the people, anything you maybe something, because like when we go to the shows. Yeah. Let me show you. Let me let you guys know how me and Chris met. So Chris and I met at Rodeo X Rigs Volume 2. To be honest with you, I didn't know who he was. I guess he didn't know who I was, but he saw me more than I saw him. Yeah. So that's how Chris and I think Chris and I really connected like a Volume 4, because that's when we actually started to talk to each other more, right? And then we started messaging back and forth on Instagram. And this just goes to show you guys go to these types of events and you'll meet a bunch of wonderful people. And he's introduced me to a bunch of other people that I didn't know, and Jason's also connected me with other people. But is there anything you want to let people know? I mean, we're on camera and you've seen how many people. Is there any life lessons, maybe a little motto you like to live by, or even if you just want to I don't know, is there I would say any positive message you want to pass on to the world while we got you on camera?
For everybody, but it's more of don't fake the funk.
Yep.
Always be real with everybody. Stop trying to hide behind the Instagram or whatever. Stop chasing that clout. Just be you.
Yeah.
Hiding behind it really sucks, and then you see it right through everything. Don't be fake. Say it how it is.
Yep. And he's right about that, you guys. It's hard. It is hard to be real in a world that's so fake, because we've been manipulated to be delusional. Unfortunately, unfortunately, that's just we think our delusion is real. It's not real, but. That's what I appreciate about Chris. He always calls me out on my crap if anything doesn't look right, and I think that's why you and I connect, because I show bad and good on Instagram. I don't just say, oh, my life is great, blah blah blah, and you vice versa. You do the same thing, and you just don't sugarcoat it. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And if you mess up, it's okay to say I messed up. Hey, I think we had a conversation a couple of weeks ago about thinking I messed up on something, and I just called it out. I was like, oh crap, maybe I wasn't supposed to do that. But I told
you called me right away.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, dude, I want to get in front of this. Did I mess up? He's like, no, you're good. So that's some great advice, and thank you for letting me interview you today. I hope.
Thank you.
I hope this reflection, I'm going to call it as a reflection, because you got to kind of look back on your life. I hope this reflection has really motivated you and inspired you to keep doing what you do.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
If you think about you telling me your story, it gives me the chills, and not just because it's cold. It gives me the chills because look how far you've come. You've come from Guam, probably a small town in Guam, to now driving a badass 2024 Tundra with a beautiful e-bike, sitting in front of a camera doing one of the biggest shows.
By the beach.
By the beach, exactly. So he's right back where he started, but he's just,
exactly.
He's he started from the bottom, now we're here. It's exciting. I like hearing stories like that. I think it's very exciting, and it's how do I explain it? It's just that moment when you realize, damn, I've lived this many years and look at everything I've accomplished. It's awesome. So,
and if I do want to say one thing,
go for it.
everybody out there with significant others or whatever, you know, you got to thank your wives. I got to thank my wife and my family, only because you put them through a lot, financially, mentally. It could have just been like something like, oh, I'm going to be in the garage for 8 hours and, you know, you didn't do shit in the house. So just make sure you thank them, you know. I got to thank my wife, Hilda, and then my kids for putting up with the things I do, and they're all part of the crew.
Yeah, no, they are. They're like our family, you know.
Exactly.
And thank you, Chris's wife and Chris's kids. I love you guys too. Yo, you get a Yota Joe hug.
Virtual hug.
But anyways, we're gonna wrap it up here, you guys. Thank you for sharing us your very beautiful story, and it's amazing to see everything you've gone through. Now you're here, and I can't wait for the next event or the next trail that we hit. Hopefully my truck will be done by then. Chris, thank you for joining us today.
No worries, man.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Hand hug.
Hand hug.